Welcome! It looks like an episode of the Treasure Hunters, but it's not. It's even better. We're hunting for the Dutch treasure, the tulip. Come and have a look. We're here at the Tulperij. That's where you can find everything about tulips, the spring flowers, the daffodils, the hyacinths, everything. And also you can learn about the history, how it all started, and what tools they used, and so on and so on. So let's quickly dive into the Tulperij. Here we see all the old-fashioned tools. We didn't have machines back then. We did everything by hand. That was tough work. This is already a while back. A wooden shovel, can you imagine? The Tulperij is really nice, decorated with all kind of old, typical Dutch stuff. You can come here, enjoy a cup of coffee, and be the guest at Daan and Anja Jansen, who run the Tulperij. Tulips in all sorts, souvenirs with tulips, everything is with tulips. And of course we have the typical Dutch Miffy, and here also with tulips. And of course Lily Wants to Bloom. The book of the famous author John Koopman is here as well. They really have eye for detail and for history. Look at the lamps. This basket was used to store the bulbs and to get the bulbs from the fields into the sheds. Later on they made a different kind of tray. Let me show you. Wire structured trays. Here they stored the bulbs and just put them on top of each other so the air could go through. And you can see this particular tray is already almost 60 years old and still being used. That's craftsmanship. You can do a tour over here and Daan or Anja will explain you all about the family history as well. Tulips, everybody in the world loves them and everybody from all over the world comes to see them as well. And I think this is the proof. Look at it. Do you know this vase? This is the typical Dutch tulip vase in Delft blue. It consists of 3 different parts and you can put the tulips in. So it's 3 small vases, and now of course you have many different more modern varieties as well. And now it's time to go outside to see the beauty of the tulips. While going outside I will play beautiful music for you so you can enjoy the beauty of all the tulips. In the show garden. Here there are so many different flowers planted, not only tulips but also daffodils and hyacinths and some really nice seeds and even a bed to enjoy the beauty. You can do absolutely everything to enjoy the tulips. You can take a coffee, sit in the greenhouse, you can sit in a chair, but you can also take a bath. One of the first bulb flowers to flower in the spring is the daffodil. Daffodils you normally plant in the autumn time, around October, November. And the nice thing about the daffodil is that it flowers every year, unlike for example the tulip. Not known as much as the tulip, the hyacinth, and the daffodil is the grape hyacinth, muscari. Mostly we see them in blue, but they're also in purple, pink and even white. The colors we see most often in hyacinths are blue, pink and white. Due to breeding we also now have some yellow creamish ones, even red ones and some salmon colored ones as well. But beware, the breeding almost takes 3 generations before they finally have enough to send it to the auction and to the florists. And then maybe my favorite flower, the tulip, available in so many colors, so many different shapes, and they're all over here. Let me show you. Double, almost peony ones, and this shape is relatively new. It's a double fringed, and here we have the lily shaped, the lily flowered tulips. Interesting fact is that the tulips on the fields outside, the color is much more intense when they force them in the greenhouses. This has to do with the temperature outside and of course the sun as well. And here we have the parrot-shaped tulips. And here we have the crown-shaped tulip. This one is called Crown of Dynasty. This variety is called Roodkapje, which means Little Red Riding Hood from the fairy tale. This particular variety is used as a pot tulip because it stays short and it has a nice color, nice shape, but also pay attention to the leaf. It's a very special leaf. If the shoe fits, you know you're in the right place. Different types of tulips flower in different times as well. So here you can see one variety that's almost all flowered already. And then here we have one which is in full bloom. And here we've got a variety that's called Avignon, which is in the group of the single late tulips. And that's why it will be flowering in a week or two, depending on the weather, of course. What a day! We've been strolling around all day to see all the beautiful tulips, hyacinths, daffodils, muscari and all the other beautiful flowers. Luckily Dan and Anja prepared a bed for me to stay here overnight. So, see you next time and good night.